Hello, world, and welcome to the latest edition of 100% Richard. Hey, what's up, everybody? Here I am. It's me talking about something. Welcome to 100% Richard, and we're going to get ready to just go with this one again today. Just looking to say, man, have you ever had one of those days? I've had 2 or 3 of those days. It's been one of those days. For some of us in quarantine, it's probably been a wreck all the way around the board. But you know what? There's great things out there for you. And I believe that there's great things going on for me. So I just want to say a couple of cool stuff. So this morning I woke up and I was just on fire. I have had one of the most overwhelming week and a halves I've ever had. So I get a phone call from a friend of mine, and he just pours into me a bunch of information about podcasting. I'm like, man, how can you just not receive that when somebody just calls you and says, this is how you do this, this is the best way to do it? And so I'm like, okay, this is going to be awesome. So then I'm over doing some stuff, and out of the blue, I get an angel investor. And so this angel investor gives me some funds. That's what investors do. So the podcast, I just ordered a bunch of equipment yesterday. And so instead of using duct tape and glue to make this thing happen, and doing the best we can and reaching excellence as best as we can with basically duct tape, glue, and old parts and one brand new red mic, we're going to see some great quality changes. So with all that, I'm overwhelmed. I'm super excited. I wake up and, yesterday morning and the internet goes down. Okay. So those of us that are, still stuck in our houses, we're like, right now we need the stinking internet. So I'm not going to talk about who my cable provider is that provides my internet, but it went down for approximately 3 to 4 hours, and my whole plan for the day, the goal was just I'm going to build my website, and so I was going to start getting design elements together and doing all that stuff and wait for a very particular email. This is one of the reasons why I was super overwhelmed this week. And so I'm waiting for this email, and on top of that, I can't work on the website. That was the goal. That was the plan. So now I'm shaken. I don't know what to do. And so I turn my Wi-Fi off on my phone and sit around, do whatever we're going to do. We're munching food, watching, iPhones, to just kind of get the entertainment. Glad I'm unlimited on my unlimited plan. But so this is what happens. I get the email from Apple Podcast that this very podcast is approved by them and ready to go. So I was just in absolute amazement. I found a way I posted it right away because my phone was still functioning. So anybody that has cellular service was doing just fine. And so we got that going. Just super overwhelmed. I'm also got up on Spotify this week. So you can listen to me on YouTube, where you can actually see my made for podcasting face. And so you can see me here on YouTube. You can also see me on Facebook, on 100% Richard's Facebook page. And you can also, now you can go to Spotify, search 100% Richard. I pop up, and iTunes is going to take a couple of days for that to pop up, but I'm going to start putting the link down. So now we're going to build a website. And so today I'm building this website, and I'm not the hosting service, once again, I won't use names, but the hosting service that I'm using, I get everything situated. I get a store together because, I'm thinking, since I got an angel investor, I'm going to put a donate button on my, so I'm trying to develop a store and get all this situated and all this kind of stuff. And the thing just crashes, and I get a 404, which is an error that says it can't find my page. And so I'm like, man, this is so not cool. So eventually you're going to be able to go to 100richard.com. That's 100richard.com. So as soon as that bad boy pops up, you can go there and you can catch all the links to all the places to see me. So really, it caused me to go, man, my whole day's rough. And I thought, man, I'm not even going to bother with this podcast today. and nobody it usually doesn't show up till Saturday anyway because I got to do all the background stuff. And I decided, nope, I treasure this thing. And God said something a long time ago in His Bible. It says, "For where your treasure is, there your heart will be also," which is in Matthew 6:21. And that verse just jumped in my head, and I was like, where my treasure is where my heart will be. And this isn't talking about, I know a lot of times we use this verse at your church for offering and whatnot, but really what does your heart treasure, and what are you willing to go through to see that treasure happen? Because your heart will actually develop it for you. And I believe I have a heart to do this, and I've been told by numerous people that continue doing it no matter what. And so here I am, no matter how frustrating my day was, no matter how frustrating my week's been, and how overwhelming my emotions have been. Here I am doing what I believe I'm supposed to do. I'm going to read this out of the Passion Translation because it just really adds amazing things to it. It says, "For your heart will always pursue what you value as your treasure." So you know what? If you value something, if you have a dream or something in your life and you value something, is your heart in it? And if your heart's not in it, get out of it. It's not going to do you any good, because I think you really have to have your heart in it. I know a lot of people that start businesses, make businesses grow, but that's their heart. Their heart is business, and that's what they do. And that's what their dreams are about. It's not about making money. It's about just doing business and meeting people and doing. And that's what their heart's about. And guess what? They end up with treasure. And I believe that, hey, really, truly, where your heart is, where your treasure is. And so to pursue the thing that you believe deep down inside of you that you're supposed to do. And I don't care what the times look like. I've got it made. I've had a dream of doing this podcast thing, and I get to sit in my own office and do it from here, so I don't have to leave to do it. But I'll tell you what, there's a lot of things you can do from home, I'm discovering. There's a lot. I have a friend of mine that lives just up the hill from here, from where I live at, and she's making masks. She's never made them before in her life. I was reading a post that she wrote, and she said, I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to make it, and now she's made... She's handed out to hospitals. She's handed out to doctors' offices, hospice nurses, local hospice nurses, where she's just going for it. But that's where her heart is right now, and she's going for it. And I think that's one of the things that we should actually, in this time, while we're sitting in our living rooms, chilling on Netflix and whatever else we got going on, is actually maybe we should focus in on what our heart's supposed to do, and then take that thing and go after it full bore. And 100%, just go after it and try something new. If there's something you haven't done before, go out and do it. If it's something that's been down in here, man, it doesn't matter if it sucks. Just do it. I was watching I've been researching how to start a podcast before I started this. And one of the guys said, if you're going to start a podcast, start a podcast. Doesn't matter what your equipment is, doesn't matter what it looks like, doesn't matter what it sounds like, start a podcast. And if you got good content, people will listen. So I don't know if I got good content, but I've got people listening, so I guess I'm not doing too bad. So this is really the thing. You want to do something? Start doing it. I remember when I was a youth pastor, we had nothing to work with. It was me and a friend of mine. We had nothing to work with. We didn't know what we were doing. We went and visited another church and saw what they were doing and went, man, we can't do that. And I went, why not? And I remember saying, why don't we just start? And then we could work from there. I know the goal, a lot of times, is just to be excellent, but sometimes we don't start excellent. Sometimes we got to start kind of ghetto. You don't want to even know what my ring light looks like to make this room look good. So just to let you know, but that's behind the scenes. That'll be a whole nother day. So in the next couple of weeks, actually, hopefully in the next couple of days, I'm going to be getting some new equipment. The sound equipment is going to get better. And like I said, I started out with a cheesy mic. I got a big old school audio box for a PA system was what I'm running this through, and I'm rigging it through my MacBook, and just trying to make things function and work. And I got a camera that's too old to live stream. I'd probably be doing that. But this is what I'm doing. And guess what? I sat down with my wife. I sat down with my family and I talked to God and I said, I want to start a podcast. And they said, you already got the equipment. All you got to do is figure out how to do it. And I figured out how to do it. So that's where my treasure is. That's where my heart is. This is what my treasure is right now. And I'm going to go after it 100%. So I just challenge you, and I say thank you to all the people that are helping me out with this thing. And today's, I think, is just a great day to say, man, no matter what it looks like, we got it going on. So I'm out. Have a wonderful weekend. Once again, if you're watching church on YouTube, go and do that. Do the things that you got to do, and have a wonderful, wonderful weekend. Ride on, ride on.